Take a look.
I knew from an early age that I always wanted to be a mom. I had 3 miscarriages. The doctors had told me that probably I couldn't have kids. It was heartbreaking. I can't really explain the feeling. I really wanted to be a mom. And my boyfriend decided to try for a baby. I had taken probably 6 pregnancy tests because I didn't believe it. It was very emotional. I was pregnant. She was a miracle. When I had my first ultrasound, the baby's femurs were 3 weeks behind development. My thoughts were, I don't know if my kid's gonna live or pass away. At 37 weeks, I was having mild contractions. And finally, Sophie was born on March 19th.
It was perfect in my eyes, but I knew I saw how short her legs were.
The head pediatrician had told me that she had the most common form of dwarfism.
It didn't seem like that was the right diagnosis. Looking at her, everything was proportionate other than her legs.
After we were released from the hospital, I had made an appointment with a pediatric orthopedic surgeon. And the specialist looked at me and said, she has PFFD. It's pretty much premature femurs. They're underdeveloped. In some cases are very fragile. We were told that we didn't know she was going to walk or what she was going to be able to do. It was heartbreaking because you don't know if your kid's going to walk. You don't know if you're going to need assistance or when any of this will happen. At this point, I became a single mom, and dealing with everything was overwhelming. When Sophie was about 1, I had started doing research on the super hip surgery. The super hip surgery would allow her to be active and move around on her own. My biggest obstacle is finances. Sophie's almost 2 years old today, and what I really want for my daughter is to see her take her first steps.
And join us today, Sophie's mother, Angelique. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And what is the biggest struggle for Sophie?
Sophie's biggest struggle every day is not walking like a normal 2-year-old should, and she doesn't really crawl. She rolls everywhere or uses her arms to move.
Does she have any cognitive delays, or is it mostly physical?
Sophie does not talk. She maybe says dada and mama. She says no, and that's about it. She babbles like, an 8-month-old. But her biggest delay is physically.
So I know you're a single mother. How is your support system? Like, who's there to help you?
My mom and my family supports me. My best friend supports me, and that would be my support system.
I can tell that this is a struggle for everyone, but that your love for your daughter is so deep.
My love for my daughter is beyond the galaxy. That's what I could pretty much say. I'd do anything for her.
Well, and that's why she's lucky to have you as her mom. And we're actually lucky because Sophie is here. You all want to meet her? Sophie's going to come out with her grandma Hope. Come on out. Make yourselves comfortable. We can scoot down just a little bit. Well, we do have a little something for Sophie. Our friends at Discovery Toys are going to give Sophie $1,500 worth of brand new toys. Grandma, you know Sophie likes to play with toys, right?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
That's just part of it. We actually have a very special guest. I want everyone to give a warm welcome to board-certified orthopedic surgeon Dr. Dror Paley. What's going on with Sophie, and you reviewed her records
So Sophie was born with a very rare birth defect called congenital femoral deficiency that leads to severe deformities of both her hips and her knees, and her thigh bones are really, really short. It's such a rare condition. I mean, 1 in 500,000 kids have this. So you can imagine in the United States, there aren't that many kids who have Sophie's problem.
So in this situation, what options are there?
Well, left the way it is, Sophie would learn to crawl, maybe walk a bit, wouldn't be able to walk very far, would be quite limited, quite disabled. About 20 years ago, I developed a procedure called the super hip procedure. And in some kids, they also need this thing called the super knee procedures. These are operations that are really, really complicated, have more than 50 steps, take long, long hours in surgery, but are very successful at reconstructing the hip and the knee and the thigh bone, and even making the legs equal, because her right leg's shorter than her left. And with those operations, Sophie would not only be able to walk, but run and play and jump and basically.
And Dr. Paley didn't just fly all the way out here to talk about the procedure. You have something else I know you'd like to share.
Well, Grandma, Angelique, and Sophie, we've decided at the Paley Institute to do this operation for Sophie. At no medical costs to you and your family.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. I know this, the prayers has been answered. How long I pray every day for her. And that's my hope, and I'm so thankful for you guys.
Well, Sophie deserves to walk and run and play like every other child does. And, you know, if the gifts that I have in being able to do this type of surgery can improve her life and allow her to do that, that's why I went into this, to do
Wow,
this.
this is such an enormously generous gift. And we cannot thank you and your team enough. Angelique, I know these are your prayers being answered as well.
Oh, beyond. Thank you, Dr. Paley.
My pleasure.
And obviously you have to travel from Michigan to Florida, so Miracle Flights, they're going to provide you and Sophie 3 round-trip flights free of charge. As we always say, in the world of medicine, you know, there's nothing quite like having the support of family. And through these 3 generations here of strong women, and with the help of Dr. Paley, we cannot wait to see how Sophie does, and we can't wait to get updates. Thank you all so much. Dr.